what's your position on feminism?
Strictly against feminism. I think all waves, first wave, second wave, and third wave, were all harmful for society. I think the reason that we're here is because of first wave feminism.
What do you mean by here?
This is, okay, hang on. Actually, this is a really interesting take. So you got to help me out here. You think that they're bad because they're bad for society, right?
Yes.
Okay, then why are you doing OF?
I fully admit that it's bad. Fully admit it. I don't think it's great for society, but I also think it's something that I'm taking advantage of it, and I also enjoy doing it. So before I was doing OF, I was filming myself and doing it. Obviously, none of that is posted because it was a while ago. But I was filming it.
You would do that for, you would do OF for free?
Honestly, I enjoyed
fun
just
time.
filming it and
Yeah,
Was it for
but
your own personal pleasure?
Hang on. Here's my question though. Would you do it for free?
Probably, yeah, depending on the workload
You
that
would
it
do it
is.
really? You would do it for free?
Depending on the workload. So, for example, like the workload that it is right now weighs out to make sense for how much I'm getting paid with it. So I'm willing to do all the other stuff because, hey, the money's great. But if I was doing it for free, I wouldn't put as much effort into it. But yeah, I would probably still do it.
Why?
I just enjoy showing myself. I know that's kind of weird, but
You just like having on camera in front of other people?
not even having, but like even just by myself. Like
And the
like
types
if I'm
of things that
gooning,
you're
I'll
doing
goon to
by
myself.
yourself, and the types of things you're doing by yourself, which are highly sexualized, probably include things like masturbation, et
Why
cetera,
can't you do that on your own? Why do you have to put it all over the internet?
I didn't have to. Nobody told me I had to. I actually started out doing TikTok and doing like Legos on TikTok, and just like riding my horses and stuff. And I got 1,000,001 DMs about OF, and I gave it a few months of thought before I actually did it. And it was back and forth, yes, no, and I decided in the end to do it. In the end, I'm glad I did it. But if other people ask me if they should do it, I typically argue against starting it. Not that, like, I always try and frame it exactly how it is.
Yeah, and it can be a tough.
Let me ask you this.
Can be tough,
Do you
but-
think it's evil? Do you think OnlyFans is evil?
I think the general corn industry is, yes. Yeah.
And
I
all
think-
about OF?
I think it's a better version of it because
Yeah, but is it evil?
I think at its root, yeah,
It's evil?
yeah.
Then why would you do evil things?
I fully admit that it's, honestly, it's because I plan to have children in the future. And this was a way that I wanted to make a buttload of money and be able to spend time with my children and provide them with resources, put them into private education, do all of that.
Couldn't you have just married a stud?
What's going to happen when your little boy
Like, I mean, honestly,
turns
couldn't you just
13 and
marry,
his
like-
friends are all bullying him at school, showing him pictures of their mum spread eagle on a bed?
No, of
like,
course.
do you think that that's going to be great for your children?
No, but I also think that a certain level of, not bullying, I don't want to say bullying, but a certain level of hardship kind of builds strength. Not saying that every kid should be bullied, but
Yeah, we got to toughen the little Johnny up.
Poor little Timmy.
Pansy. We got to go over there and beat him up, stuff him in the locker because his mommy does corn.
Well, because
Like, what? Come on.
because
what
at the
are you
end of the
talking
day,
about?
they shouldn't
What?
worry about what
that's
other people
actually-
have to think, you know. So it's like they shouldn't like. He needs to like. It's nice to teach them that growing up, like you don't need to worry about what other people think. That has nothing to do with you. So if people were bullying him for that,
This is actually
then
the
that's not.
It's the first
sorry.
time I've heard.
Andrew also asked a question. I was paying attention to that one. What was it?
I was asking you if it's evil.
Yeah, after that. It was right as she was stating hers.
Yeah. So are you engaging in evil?
I would say so, yeah. A part of it.
Don't you think you should stop doing that? Like
Eventually.
you can imagine Somebody, if you say, look, this is evil, well, don't you think you should stop doing that?
I think there are
Isn't there
certain
only
levels
one
of
answer
evil.
to that?
I think there's certain levels of evil. So I think, like, for example, like, I think smoking cigarettes, I think it's
That's not
technically
evil. That's not evil.
smoking marijuana. I think
No,
using
drinking a
substances
beer,
is
having a
evil
cigarette,
'cause it's hurting you.
Those things aren't evil. I wouldn't classify them as evil. You actually classified this as evil.
So-
It's evil. At its root, it's evil. So you by your admission are participating in evil,
yeah.
like knowingly. Now, all of us, I think, probably at some points in our life participate in evil deeds.
Correct.
Sometimes knowingly or unknowingly. But when you recognize that it's an evil deed, don't you generally steer clear of that because you know it's evil, right? Isn't that the whole point of being able to recognize evil for what it is?
Yeah, and I fully admit the hypocrisy, 100%.
Well, it's not. I mean, I don't even know if in this case it's hypocrisy. It's just inconsistency, right? It's just an inconsistent standard. Like, if you know you're engaging in something that by your own standard is evil, you just stop doing that, right?
I'll have a drink here and there at home. I'll have a beer, but I know it's bad for me. I know I shouldn't be doing it. I know it's going to hurt my liver in the long term.
Irrelevant.
Why?
It's not the same. That's you maybe harming your body slightly, but evil means that you're harming other people, right?
Okay, let's clarify real quick the definition, like what we're considering evil, because maybe I agreed to something that I don't know what I agreed to.
Yeah, that seems fair. What do you think evil is?
See, that's actually, honestly, I'm having difficulty like putting a pinpoint on that. Is what she said kind of more close to the definition of evil that we're going upon, where it's hurting yourself and others?
Well, in my tradition, the Orthodox tradition, evil doesn't have an ontology. It just means absence from God. So anything that's absent from God would be considered evil. But
Okay.
it doesn't itself have its own sense of thing. It's a phenomenon which we call a thing which would be absent from the energies of God. That's what we would consider evil to be.
I mean, I am
when I'm
absent
asking
from
you
God.
what you consider evil to be. Now you know what I consider it, but
I
I'm
have
asking you what
an
you
idea.
consider it to be. You don't have the same standard I do. So I'm wondering from your view, what is evil?
I think. Sorry to interrupt, Andrew. I think
Sure,
that
go
I think that the people who manufacture and create the cigarettes, they might be evil, but I think that the person who smokes a cigarette isn't evil. If that makes any sense.
Why? Why though?
Because they are knowingly distributing something that potentially could cause cancer or like health problems.
Okay,
know,
so the
for
consumer
money.
you wouldn't.
For
I
money.
understand. So the consumer you wouldn't hold responsible,
No,
but you would hold
no.
the pusher to
I
be
love a
responsible.
ciggy, like when I'm out for having a drink.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't
So-
say
but
that
you
because
you
I'm.
would consider the pusher to be.
Yeah.
So in that case, chair
So-
one from your view is evil.
What?
Who's
I
the
mean-
pusher?
So the person.
She would be the pusher, right?
Are you saying,
Yeah.
is she the user or is she the pusher?
I would
She's
be
the
the pusher.
Yeah,
she's
because
the pusher
technically
because-
OnlyFans is just your pusher because the people that created the OnlyFans and then provided that platform for other people.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think that the men who are consuming this corn, whatever, are the best. But without the people who are providing it, it can't be done. So it's literally like the person, the Marlboro, they are creating something that's dangerous, but the person who smokes the Marlboro cigarette isn't evil.
I think it's like 50-50.
I'm sorry, I'm not articulating
Because you're
myself.
always going to have a market, you're always going to have a supply. It's 50-50.
But
Because people are still, they wouldn't be able to sell it if people didn't buy it. So yeah, that's true.
I just kind of looked at it. The market
because
exists.
that would
Someone
like there
else is
wouldn't
gonna
be.
sell it.
You're right. Like you are correct. If there's no demand, there's no supply.
Yes, exactly.
I agree. I agree that that's true. But what's easier to control? Is it easier to control the pusher, or is it easier to control the millions of consumers? Which one's easier to regulate?
I feel like sometimes though, if you think about it, like people are gonna want it anyways, and somehow they're gonna find a way to get it no matter what. If something really wants
Well,
something.
then why have any law?
We're also kind of talking about a
Hang
really...
on, let her
sorry,
respond.
go ahead.
Why have any law then? If it is the case that people will just break them.
What do you mean by that though? Like
Why have any, if it is the case that you're saying if you regulate this, people will do it anyway. Then you could make that example for any law which exists in the books. Why have any
Well, like
law?
for example, like it's like the vapes, right? Like the flavored vapes. Like they banned it, right? But now they're still selling it. But now they're even faker. They're worse for you. Like because no matter what, people are gonna want it. So it's like if people just try to stop it altogether, it's just somehow, some way, people are gonna find out. Like for example, marijuana.
Yeah, but hang on,
The
hang on,
reason,
hang on,
wait.
hang on. Let's go one step at a time here, because you didn't actually answer the question. If it is the case that you're saying, Andrew, listen, the reason you don't want to regulate this is because, hey, people will want it anyway. There'll still be a demand. I actually agree that that's true.
Yeah.
There will still be a demand for it. But couldn't you make that case with any law that exists?
I would say so. Like I mean,
so then why have laws at all?
facts, but that's what I mean by like just in general, like marijuana, right? Like the reason they legalized it was because people were gonna do it no matter, they were gonna keep arresting them or whatever. The reason they legalized it was because a lot of the times people are
Final
gonna.
thoughts on this, please.
No.
Hang on. The reason they legalized marijuana was because there was huge NGOs pushing for it who knew that once they taxed it and pushed it out in the public, it would spread and the consumption would spread. And by the way, the people who resisted marijuana legalization, guys like me, for instance, who resisted it, told everybody that, hey, this is not going to be just the current crop of people who smoke marijuana will keep doing it, and now it's legal and safe.
Yeah.
It's going to spread. And it did. It
Yeah.
spread all over the
No,
place,
yeah.
and way more people smoke it now than ever before, and it will continue to spread like a fucking cancerous plague. So the thing is like, it seemed like the laws were real helpful there.